Hey everyone, this is me editing the podcast, and essentially I just wanted to jump on here and say that the audio from my end sounds really bad on the recording. That is because Lily recorded it on her computer, so my audio sounds really bad, but from my end, her audio sounded really bad. So I'm going to improve it for next week and hopefully the audio will be better, but yeah, it's just a learning curve for the first episode and it will be better in future. So sorry about that, but I hope you guys enjoy.
Hi, my name is Lily. Welcome to Survivors. Like,
I hate saying my name. It actually makes me really uncomfortable.
I introduced you. Wait, which side? No, I'll have to do it because I'm recording. So I'll be like, this is Abbey. And you'll be like,
Hi. Am I putting it right way to you?
no, gotta point the other way.
Okay. That's Lily.
Oh, and we are the survivors.
We are the survivors and non-copyright. Trust me.
Yeah, survivors are copyright to the Survivor Company. We created the name Survivors because there's two of us, but we don't own Survivor. No. There's a difference. A va and a z. That's so awkward. So you know how I was telling you, I actually don't know if I told you the funny story, but you know how I was telling you I made that hair oil thing? So you get rosemary, you put it in a pot and you boil it and that kind of thing for an hour on like low heat. And so I did that, and then I found this plastic water bottle and I was like, this, I'll be able to keep it in this. Like I can just like pour a little bit out and put it on my head. So I take the boiling water and I pour it in the plastic water bottle and it just shrinks. And all of everything I'd boiled comes out the top, obviously, because it's shrinking. So the thing can't stay in. And then so I have a shriveled up water bottle and an hour's worth of oil down the drain. That's my funniest story of the week. Nothing else has happened. Like, it's been pretty boring.
I don't have any funny stories for the week because I've been doing nothing.
Same. Today has been one of the most boring days ever. Like, I went for a swim, I watched some anime, I did some work stuff, but like that was it. I haven't done anything else.
I literally set an alarm for 8 o'clock. I woke up and then I was like, what will I do today? And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go back to sleep because there's nothing to do. So I slept for 4 hours.
Yeah, I set my alarm for 6:30 and then I was like, that's a bit early. And then I woke up at 9. So like a very long time.
I think I'd kill myself. That's very early.
I want to get into the habit of waking up early. Otherwise, like, I'll be stuck when it comes to uni. Especially on Thursdays. Our first class is at 8 o'clock.
I know.
We will die.
Yeah, actually, that's true. And that's like a 4-hour lab too.
I know. All of our labs are 4 hours. The rest are like, actually, I have my timetable up there. Yeah, all of our labs are 4 hours. The rest, our workshop, one of our workshops on Friday, no, that's an hour. Everything's an hour except 2 things. The Connect class thing that we do on the online thing on Monday and the first class on Wednesday. They're 2 hours. But then the rest are 1 hour and then the labs are 4 hours.
That's such a dramatic time. 4 hours. That's a long time.
Especially to be in a class. Yeah, like, am I like not allowed to have water? Do I have to like leave my water bottle outside the classroom? Yeah. That's what you had to do in science. Because we had labs. So our school, we weren't allowed to bring our water bottles in to science class, which was the worst thing ever because like when you don't have a water bottle on, you get thirsty.
The science classes were the only classes that were allowed to bring water into because it was like built for like chemicals and stuff. But our science class was really like a bit proper. So
Yeah. Yeah, your school, I can't imagine going to your school.
yeah, it was yeah. Should we just jump into it because
Yeah, okay.
Weird.
So I think we should announce what questions we're doing, like what we're asking tonight. So our podcast is actually really far behind because we're like the third weekend. No, the second weekend, aren't
we? Yeah.
Yeah, we're the second weekend. So just forget the first week ever happened. We don't need that week. And
anyway, I have to put my question answers up with my thing. Okay. Am I still on the screen or not?
No, your little icon from Facebook is on there.
Oh, cute. I'm back.
Okay. Did you put your things on the thingy? Do you have your questions?
I have my questions here.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
so we have 5 questions to read out tonight.
Okay, so let's start with just favorite overall player.
So my favorite overall player this week was a mix between Croc and Amy. I feel like I learned to appreciate Croc and his teddy bearness and his personality, but Amy, I came to understand her strategic side, although Melissa found out she had an idol and everything. She really, I don't know.
Oh, but yeah.
Even though she like didn't have a strategy, I feel like words. I just hate when you're gonna say something and then you're like, I don't even understand anything that I'm gonna say. No, but it does suck that she got hurt. You're like, I'm done. This podcast is out. I'll just let you keep laughing as I keep talking. It sucks. I'll just cut. Whenever you're talking in the podcast, whenever you're laughing, I'll just like cut. No, we'll just cut your like little block out, and it'll just be like a little emoji head or something.
Okay, yeah, I'm good.
So I wrote in my notes, she's cool, but it's tough now that she lost her idol. But Sandra really exposed her for it. Like she was like, tell them.
Yeah, that was weird. Sandra was being mean.
Yeah, because even the thing was, I think Sam knew she had an idol, but Jay didn't. So that was awkward, and I think. But the thing was, Jay was very loyal to her. So I'll come back to that in a minute. Anyway, who was your overall favorite player of the week?
I think this is a little predictable, but it has to be Daddy Mark.
the favorite of the podcast.
He's my favorite, honestly.
He played a lot this week. He did a lot.
He came out of the shell. I loved it. And I don't know how I feel about Sam, but I like to see them reunite. That was nice. It was sweet.
But like, it is cool to think about that they were on Survivor once together, and then they formed a relationship.
That's really cool. I watched that season too.
I didn't. I haven't watched Survivor since I was like 8.
I started watching like year 7, and then I was like, this is my show. And then ever since then, I've had a crush on someone in every season.
You have a crush on everyone and everything.
Okay.
Joey.
Didn't need to that.
Toby. Daddy Mark. Okay. So your favorite was Mark. Why was he your favorite? Just because he was Daddy Mark?
Just because he's Mark.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm leaning more towards Croc at this point. Like, out of the two big boys.
I Croc was stupid though, which I'll get to later.
That's okay. That's okay. I like him. I like a bit of a himbo though.
we'll just never do this again.
I like a bit of a himbo, and like Mark is smart and stuff, but I feel like he would be smart enough to leave me. You know what I mean? Like he'd be like Croc would be dumb enough to stay. You know what I mean? Like Mark would be like, she's showing some really unhealthy mental signs. Got a ditch. And Croc would be like, nah, she's cute.
There's a lot of values.
Okay, the next one. Who had the best strategy or made the best move? You answer first.
I said Sandra, as much as I hate to admit it.
Yeah, I said Sandra too.
Yeah.
I was actually really surprised about how she coordinated the whole attack with Amy and Jay. Like, I know she says she's a queen and all this kind of stuff, and I didn't really believe her, but she's smart when it comes to those things. Other things,
yeah. She always has this, like, her game plan, I feel, it's so simple because all she does is, like, orchestrate it, but then just blame it on someone else.
Yeah, she's a very Weasley. Like, she will, like, no, but, like, she'll say something, like, and then she completely made up that story about Amy, about the big guys, remember? Or was it Amy she made it up about, I think? She was like, Amy wants to vote one of you guys out, and Amy just wanted Dave to stay. Juicy David.
Like that name. Where did it come from?
It came from when they were getting rid of David, and like the votes had Juicy David written on one of them. I don't know. We've never found out who wrote Juicy David, I don't think. But I wonder who wrote Juicy David. That's actually the mystery.
He really dropped a few bombs that night at travel.
No, actually, yeah, probably. Because I was going to say they wrote it before they said that stuff, but they didn't. So
yeah,
probably was. But that's like such a weird name to give David because he's just all skin and bones. It's not like it was Mark. Like Mark could have been Juicy Mark. Like you know what I mean? Yeah, or Croc. I would call Croc a teddy bear though, because he seems so sweet. Like he seems so gentle. When Mark is not a teddy bear, he's like a grizzly bear.
No, Mark's like kind of scary. He's very military. So obvious.
Very much so. Okay. But I guess we both had the same favorite strategy kind of thing. I guess we appreciate the fine arts of the Survivor. So who did you think it was the saddest to see go?
Jay. I was going to say Alex up until last night when Jay went.
Okay, yeah.
Alex was like, it was sad, but like Jay didn't deserve to go. It made no sense why he went to me at all.
Sandra was just attacking their throuple. She was just attacking their group, but it didn't make any sense that she was attacking Jay. She could have just attacked David and Amy because Amy had the idol, and David was Juicy David. You know what I mean?
One of David got anyway, so she should have made him the collateral rather than Jay.
She was going to vote for. She was going to try and get David out anyway. It was going to be David, Jay, and then Amy. I think she said it was going to be, but then Amy got the idol, so then she became top priority, and then they added Jay for some reason. It's like she was to vote for David.
Exactly. I feel like we are better again because we think about it.
Yeah, I wasn't that sad to see Alex leave. Like it sucks that he had us all back and all that stuff, but I was kind of like, whatever. I feel like he doesn't contribute in the sense of as much as like I feel like Sandra and Mark and Nina do. Like they're very show orientated, where they're like they're different than the sisters, like Melissa and that, where they're kind of in the background.
Yeah, Alex was kind of like further back than Melissa and Michelle.
Yeah, the only thing about him was his back and that he was sore, which like sucks to happen on the first night. Yeah, his personality was sickness. But yeah, so I say Jay as well. So we have everything in common. Click. Yeah, we don't even need the podcast. We just need one of us to repeat how we feel, and that's it. So who is the worst player this week? I have a feeling I know who you're gonna say.
Obviously, we're gonna have the same.
Yeah.
Sophie by far.
Okay, what's your reasoning? As if I don't agree.
clearly her gameplay this week sucked really badly. And I feel like the first week, like last week, it was like, oh yeah, like Sophie's there, she seems cool. But then this week, she was like on a warpath, and like it was almost like her true colors showed in the game, and we all just watched her dave herself by blowing it up.
I agree. I feel like she felt she had too much power. Like she knew she was going to have some power and was kind of like, I'm going to use it, but she used it way too strongly. And I feel like she kind of floundered about with the alpha pack or whatever. And
My God.
And she kind of dug a hole for herself. But then I feel like it got even worse once she was on the second team, because she made it really hard for KJ to like, because they're playing their own game. They have their own strengths and their own weaknesses, and they don't complement each other at all in that sense. Like they couldn't play games together unless they started from the start, which they didn't, because like other teams or whatever. But other than that, she's actually okay at challenges. Like she actually did really well with the log challenge. Like her and Alex, I don't even know how Alex lasted that long. But other than that, she just comes across as too headstrong, and I feel like that's where she disappointed herself.
I feel like she's getting to a point where she knows that she's under so much threat that she's just like digging herself a bigger hole by saying that she's gonna get revenge. Like it's just like a last resort for her to act really strong and tough.
Yeah,
like she isn't under threat, but she is like gonna go home.
Oh, who do you think is on the chopping block heading into next week?
Okay, this is dependent on the tribe swap.
And yeah, I did that too.
But I think Amy, if she's on a tribe with Sandra and Nina, then Amy and Dave, if they're on the tribe with Sandra, and Sophie, just wherever the fuck she is.
Sophie will be on the chopping block everywhere and anywhere, especially if Mark and Sam team up, and anyone else, anyone, because I feel like the whole situation that happened with Khan, and like they were gonna make Khan they were gonna flush his idol, and for some reason she was quite silly, I feel like, for wanting to offer it. Like that was a waste. That was gonna be a waste of an idol. And with Alex going, that was so anticlimactic. So I want to know what kind of tension they have, because no one, I guess you could say, significant really left. Like no one they were gunning for. So I feel like, say if they were in the same team, like I know the tribal swap, we can't predict like who's going to go who, except for Nina and Sandra. They showed that. They did that on purpose. But I feel like Sophie anywhere, obviously, and David, and Amy, and I feel like maybe the alpha men. If like, I don't know, I feel like Sandra is going to try and gun for them as well. But that doesn't make any sense to me, because Sandra is absolutely the weakest out of all of them. Like I thought Chrissy was bad at the trials. Like Chrissy's actually, like, I've actually liked Chrissy. Like I don't like her when she picks her teeth and she does silly things, but you know, that's like having a sister, like an annoying sister or an annoying person. But she's actually really good for their team, and her and Mark couple up so well with the fact that like Mark's in charge, but she's in charge in a different way. Like when she's like 1, 2, 3, let's go, and then she's like watching everyone do the puzzles and stuff and helping people. And Mark's more in charge.
I feel like she got really, I feel like she came all guns blazing at the beginning, and that's why we didn't like her, because she got a lot of screen time, and I don't think that was her fault. I think it's whoever gets the most screen time. Like we're seeing it with Sophie now. She's on the screen so much that we just want her off the screen.
Yeah.
And it was the same with in the beginning and Brianna, and then Brianna went, and then Chrissy died down as soon as Brianna went.
Yeah, literally, I totally forgot Brianna existed. Like once you're gone, you're gone. Like remember Andy? No.
Kate? Even? She's not that long ago.
Yeah, literally. It was all like last week.
Yeah.
And to me, it was a year ago.
Uh-huh.
But I feel like this week is going to be so intense with the tribe swap. Like, it's going to be so intense.
So excited.
It's going to be really good.
Uh-huh. I really hope we get like a few pairings, and I hope they're good. Like, if it's like Geordie and Jessie, I'm gonna cry because I don't care about them.
Geordie and Jessie, I feel like them teaming up is going to do nothing. Like, I feel like they're only, like, this might sound mean, but I feel like they can't do anything together. Like, they're just as useless on their own as they are together. Like, but if Sandra and Nina were teamed up, I feel like they could talk a lot of strategy, and so could Mark and Sam. Oh no, because they would go off in their little alone huddle, but I feel like Sandra would play it safe and not do that, but also do that at the same time. Like, Sandra does know how to play the game. Like, I've seen her, we see her, she says she's the queen. As much as we hate her saying that, she is well versed in her Survivor royalty. So like, she's pretty decent. But I feel like she throws a lot of crap at everyone else. Like, everyone, like, other people are still playing a good game.
When she first wanted to get Dave out, her reasoning was that he was weak in the challenge. And I was like, I don't think you be throwing that around. Yeah.
Especially because she's like so weak in the challenge. Like, last night when they had the netball thing, I was kind of like, oh, maybe she's going to be okay at this. Like, maybe she played basketball or something, because I don't really think they play netball that much in America. Like,
I have no idea, but I don't think so.
I don't know. So I was like, oh, she might be all right. But then when she like kept throwing the ball and then like a million people were like swimming, I was just like, okay, they've lost it. Like, they're not going to win this.
Literally.
And then Croc felt bad because of his whatever happened to him. Well, like, he would have had to whatever happened to that guy. No, I felt bad for him because he would have had to. It's so hard for that climbing thing because it doesn't even matter the stronger you are, the heavier you are. Like, he has so much muscle to pull up. But Mark, even though he has so much muscle, he has military training. Croc's a football player. Yeah. He doesn't climb up things.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, he's not trained in climbing.
Like, worried up that thing because that was like easy because they're so small. Like, Shay got up there so quickly.
Yeah, but Shay's like a small little agile spider. Like,
yeah.
I honestly, I would say I'd be so good and be able to do all these challenges, but they were doing that in like 40-degree heat.
Yeah, I would never.
I would have just wanted to drown in the water. Like, I would have not wanted to get out. I would have just stayed in the water all day, every day, eating rice.
I wouldn't even want to walk to the challenge. How far do I have to walk?
I'd swim. If the pool or like the little pond thing cut off, I'd be like, sorry guys, I'll be out for today. Like, just vote me out. I'll chill in the water. But I'm so shocked at how much has happened in the first 2 weeks. Like, they've made Sophie go on to another team. There's been the freaking mega idol, the super idol. And remember Dave and them said they'd pull each other's hats down or something? They didn't even do that. It didn't even have it. So Khan doesn't even know if, like, what if they merge and then Khan's just like, oh my gosh, we can do this. Dave's gonna have to be like, you wonder how I got my nickname Juicy Dave?
I actually played it last time.
Yeah. And then Amy last night when she played her idol, and then John was just like, so who are you gonna play it for? And she said, me.
Yeah.
I was just like, of course he's gonna play it for her. I'd never play an idol for someone else unless it was like my loved one. Like, if it was Mark, I'd want Mark to stay because he'd be able to get me the furthest.
Yeah, I'd play for Mark. Even if I went home, I'd sacrifice.
Yeah. I just don't know how, because I didn't watch when Sam and Mark were playing together like that season. Like, and I don't know how far into their relationship they got in the show. Like, I wonder how they're actually going to play now that they're married, if they merge together.
They were like I don't think they were like dating on the show. They just like got really close and they were called the power couple, which is why they were sent home because people knew how close they were. But then after the show, they like solidified their connection.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know how it's going to go because Sam has a really awful way of strategizing. Like, she made Dave think she was gunning against him. Like, besides Dave's paranoia, there would have been some clues if she didn't come up to him and say, hey, I've heard your name been thrown around. I want to do this. Because if everyone knows, if no one comes up to you, you're the plan.
Yeah.
That's our slogan. When Kate said that and Dave was just like, oh my gosh, I've never heard that saying in my entire life. And now it's true. It's true. I was like, Dave, get with the times.
Yeah, Dave's like natural instinct was like, well, Sam's a social butterfly, so
like he's so shocked by everything that happens. Like anyone that tells him anything, he's just like, when he got the idol, he's like, I've got this little thingamajig that can do something.
Except he was really smart on that when he came back from that reward and he was like, I picked up this thing and it was just so
yeah. That was a fluke. That was all his brain cells. He used them all up.
Them together. But, yeah.
Sandra didn't buy that though, which obviously, like, I feel like Sandra, I just want Sandra to fall up one time.
Someone was in her ear, like, don't buy this, Sandra, this is fake. Like, the producers were like, Sandra, we need you not to buy this for views. Like,
yeah, we need you to actually stop being good at the game. We need you to lose. It's Australian Idol. You can't win, like, legally.
You know, I was just talking about that character.
I know, but like, I know she says that, but like, oh my gosh, is she like some witch? Is she superstitious? Hashtag sorry to the witch community. I'm probably like offending 50 million people out there, but like, she played 5 and she only got out twice. I don't think she should be that paranoid. It was 3 times maybe. If she got out on the 16th, twice is not a lot. That's kind of a coincidence.
Yeah.
That's like that meme where Doofenshmirtz is like, if I had a nickel for every time something happened, I'd have 2 nickels. And isn't that funny or something? Whatever he says.
Yeah.
But yeah. But that's the thing she should have said, not, oh my God, it's gonna happen.
Why did you say
it? I become a Sandra impersonator. I don't look anything like her. Like, I turn up to parties and they're like, we are not paying you. And then I start talking and they're like, oh
my God, Sandra.
Oh my God, Sandra's inside her body. Sandra did a Michael Jackson. That's why I had to shut my closet, because his sister's in mine.
Oh my God.
But back to Survivor. Yeah.
I have notes for every day.
Oh, you do? I kind of just wrote random notes about like last night and the episode before, but you go first.
Okay, so for Sunday, I went to their Instagram, like I told you, and I put like who won reward. Sorry, I was just about to raise my hand. I put who won reward and who won immunity, and what the challenges were. So I thought we could talk about the challenges because
okay, yeah. Yeah.
Naturally.
I am Mark.
I'm Croc.
We're bros for life.
Okay, so Sunday night's reward, Red won, and it was the mud wrestle, which I can't remember now.
No, so was it the
rope up to the bell?
Oh yeah, so they had to wrestle in the mud and then get past each other and then climb to the bell. Wow, that feels like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
Time is going so fast. We should have our degree next week.
We will.
I wish. That was a really interesting challenge when it came to Croc and Mark doing it together. I liked that when it was those two. But then everyone else, like, especially when the girls just ran past each other, I was like, cool strategy, but like, there's no flavor.
Yeah.
Like, and like, I feel, didn't Sandra try to like drown Nina?
Yeah.
She has a theme of drowning people.
Literally.
It's kind of scary. Like,
that's her way to win.
If her and Nina never teamed up, I 100% feel like she would. Like, I feel like she's definitely going to vote Nina out at some point. Like, Nina is either going to be voted out by other people or by her mum. But I feel like more so her mum, because I feel like other people, I feel like her mum will be like, okay, let's.
Because Sandra's going to think like her and Nina together is a massive threat. So she's going to be like, I want to stay here more than I want Nina to stay. So
like, I'm going to be the queen.
Yeah. It depends though, because people might go to Nina and be like, your mum's like rooting for you to get out right
now. That's what I feel like will happen. I feel like they'll do a blind side on Sandra from Nina. Like, they'll be like, Sandra will be like, okay, let's chuck her out. And then everyone will be like, we prefer Nina. She actually is good at challenges. And doesn't kill half of our team.
Just one fight. Just drowned the whole.
That's the only reason she won, because she killed everyone. She killed everyone on every team. Yeah, she just drowned them every night. And they'd be like, oh my gosh, the red team didn't go to tribal council last night. Why is Alex not here? And they're like, Santa's just like, ha 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 ha, like just laughing maniacally.
Imagine.
Okay, so what was the actual reward? Because like the rewards have been kind of funny. Like when they had the croissants and jam, I was like, why not scones?
That was so. It was croissants, jam, and butter. Not even cream.
Sandra slathered that croissant in butter, and I was like, cholesterol.
I was gonna vomit. I hate butter.
Same. So I don't eat butter. I don't eat butter.
Oh my god, look, we're learning about each other.
Yeah, I can't eat butter, and I'll tell you a funny story about that. So I stopped eating butter when I was 4 because I watched an ad that was like, my 4-year-old brain didn't understand the concept of anything or comprehensions because I was 4, and so I watched this ad, and it was about like a butter company comparing two butters, and one has less animal fats than the other. And in my head, I was a miniature vegan and went, oh my god, there's animals in butter. Disregarding the fact that I ate chicken nuggets that had chicken in the title, I was like, butter is the enemy. So I just stopped eating butter. And since I haven't eaten it for so long, I've built up like an intolerance for it. So I'm lactose in butter. Like I can't have it. It makes me feel really sick. So what we're saying, Sandra, the reason why she's not winning challenges is because she's eating all the butter.
She's unhealthy, that's why.
She's developed a problem. But yeah, I liked the club sandwich reward. I thought that was cool because they gave them all a bottle of juice. That would have been awesome. Did you say you prefer apple juice?
I don't mind.
Okay, you don't mind. I prefer orange juice. I don't like apple juice. It looks like piss to me. Like I'm not into drinking piss looking shit. So
okay, well it doesn't taste like piss.
Yeah, but I just feel like apples shouldn't be squeezed for their juices. They should just be eaten. It's like if we had blueberry juice.
But that's like a smoothie.
Yeah, but that's okay, fine. My logic doesn't. I have 4-year-old logic still.
Just your whole theory. So.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. But I'm just trying to think of the other rewards they've had. They've had the fishing nets, the comfort items.
Yeah, but I can't remember what was last week and what was this week.
Well,
because last week they had the fishing net and the comfort items is one.
And then okay. And then they had the whole store thing.
The super idol was last week. Yeah.
The super idol was last week. This week was the croissants, the club sandwiches was last night. So what was Monday night?
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, that was the one that they had to eat at. It was like the cheese platter.
Oh yeah, the cheese platter. Here's the thing. I'm a very picky eater. I would have not eaten half of the things on that platter. I hate grapes. I wouldn't have eaten the grapes. I don't eat oranges. I suck the juice out of them. Like I can't. It's just such a weird concept to bite into an orange. To me,
no, I hate that. I suck it and then just like leave like the strands of like.
Yeah, same. So it's like a mini. So it's like a mini juice. It's just like go on to the next one. But I would have probably just eaten the cheese and the crackers.
Yeah, but I'm not really a big fan of cheese. So I would have just plain crackers on it. And a grape.
I'm addicted to cheese. That's probably my fault. Don't roll your eyes. You're just like, oh, it's fucking Sandra with that butter. But I feel like I would want a better reward. You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, and one of the rewards was to have Shay come and eat with them. Or Shay come, no, they got the fishing gear. The other team got the fishing gear, and Shay came and hung out with her boyfriend, Ben.
Yeah, remember? They ate something, didn't they?
Yeah, they ate something last time, but I feel like something happened where Shay was invited over on her own, and then another day, no, that was with the croissants, and Shay was invited over to share the meal. And then the next day was the cheese platter where everyone got to go eat with the other tribe in front of their faces. And then last night was the cod sandwiches and orange juice. I actually want orange juice so bad right now. I'm going to have to.
So much food.
I have orange cordial, which isn't the same. Why are you judging me so much? You like cordial? This bitch is sugar diabetic. Sugar diabetic, like there's other diabetics out there. Yeah, I'm a cheese diabetic. You're Daddy Mark diabetic.
I really am, honestly. He's actually that looking, but I'm just so obsessed with him.
The thing is, he's probably like, actually, I want to Google how old he is. What's his? I'm just gonna look up Mark from Survivor. Mark from.
He's like Wales or something.
Oh my gosh, he has a book. You should read it.
Oh my god, what's it called?
It's called The Life and the Sass, which is the SAS. But it's funny to read as Sass. He is 42. So he could definitely be our father.
Yeah. I don't care.
You're younger than me. Not by much, but like I still perceive you as younger than me. Like for some reason. I have like a thing with like age. It's so weird.
7 or 8 months younger.
Yeah. I'm like, if I'm older than someone, I feel so much more mature. I think it's because like I have this older sister complex.
No, I'm actually like 6 months younger than you.
Yeah, like pretty much exact. Almost exact.
Mm-hmm.
If I was only born like 13 days earlier.
Yeah, you ruined it.
No, if I was born 13 days earlier, then it would be 7 months. I'm not calculating the other way. I don't care. I can calculate 5 minus 18, but not 18 minus whatever all the other numbers are. No, because 6 months would be from January to June. But I'm in December. So that's 7 months.
You were born December 5th to January to February to March, April to May to June. That's 6 months.
Right. Whatever. Luckily, we're not mathematicians. Back to your. Yeah, I did general math. Yeah, true. But let's go back to your.
Like the survivor talk.
Yeah, the challenge.
Yeah. So, Blue won immunity on Sunday night, which resulted in Sophie going to the other side.
Yeah.
And that was the block bridge one.
I really liked that challenge.
I did too, but there's no way I could have done it. I would have had an absolute fizzy fit.
I feel like it's displayed in every single challenge that the blue team has such a better team structure than the red team.
Uh-huh.
Like the red team is how I would act, and the blue team is how superior me would act. Yeah, literally. Yeah. Like the red team is always panicky, and they're always like, oh, and they don't work well together at all. Where the blue team, they work well so much together. And I feel like that's definitely because of Chrissy and Mark. They help a lot.
Yeah, I think that's the issue. Like the red team are scared to like have a leader because whoever the leader is will be like under threat and like everyone's gonna hate on them. But like the blue team aren't afraid of that, and like Mark and Chrissy lead every trial, every challenge, and it works in their favor.
And the thing is, they let him lead during the challenges. He doesn't lead the group as a whole per se. Like he doesn't like go back and be like, okay, everyone, time for bed, or we're gonna eat now, or something stupid. But where Sophie, when she came back from that trial, because she stayed out for that part, she was like, why were you all shit? You know what I mean? She was like, why did you all suck? And I was like, whoa, you sat there the whole time. Calm down.
I know. I was like, that looks really hard. Like I didn't blame the red team for that one. They just didn't work together. And plus, even if they did get it up, it wasn't spelling right on the other side, so they wouldn't have gotten it anyway.
No, they wouldn't have got it anyway because they didn't. It's always tricky because blood, I feel like, is the harder one to spell because they're always going to get an O mixed up with each other because the O on one side was the L on the other side because the words were like split backwards. So it was hard for them because it's so much more complicated where water, there's no letter there that's the same.
Exactly.
And I feel like they got onto the puzzle a lot faster. Like R was going to be W because it was going to be the end letter and the start letter on the other side, where the others were kind of just like, let's just make blood on one side. And then we'll get there. The other side.
Yeah.
And I felt it was so scary when Blue put up their thing because I was like, that's so going to fall. I was like, that's so going to fall. It had mud on it.
That was insane.
And then what was the trial for immunity? What did they have to do? Or that was the well then what was the other one? Oh no, the mud one. We talked about that. Okay. I have a memory of the goldfish.
Okay, so Monday night, Blue won reward. And what was that challenge? If I didn't write it down.
I'm gonna have a look at their Instagram right now.
Because last night's was the one with Dave Lilly.
Was last night? No. Last night, no, the night before there was a log challenge. The log challenge was Monday. And there was another one, obviously, but I can't think of what it was.
It was the one where Sophie Lilly hit Sam off of the thing. That was the reward.
Which one was the reward one? Sophie did what?
When they stood up on the podium and they had to knock each other off.
Oh, yeah. That one was so embarrassing for Sophie.
Yeah, that was. No, like, actually, the Instagram post. This is where this comes in.
Because Sam could have gotten whiplash from that. Like, legit.
Okay. So, Sophie put this on her Instagram, but when I went to see the Instagram, it was too late, but I found an article. So, apparently while Sam and Sophie were up on the podium, they were talking. So Sophie put on her Instagram, I'm also really disappointed in production again. Everyone could see us talking the whole time. We made a set deal on that podium. I told her, so Sophie told Sam, she could win and get the victory in front of both tribes, but in return, my boys would be safe and they wouldn't be picked off. I put my trust in her again, and I swear on my children's effing lives of that and hold my head high for that decision.
That kind of feels like a lie to me.
I just don't understand because here's what I don't understand. Sam said that she would like keep the boys safe or whatever. But Sam worked with the boys to get rid of Amy or Jay. So it doesn't make sense. Sam worked with Sandra, Michelle, and all of the boys.
Yeah.
So he did not hold up to the deal.
Yeah, but I feel like if that was like a big enough thing for them to talk about, like that's a pretty big thing for them to have discussed. And I feel like Mark, when he was talking about Sophie to Jessie, like that was way more of a talkable moment because how the hell did Sam and Sophie talk if they were literally killing each other? Like
there was no time.
Like all they would have heard is the slapping of the things they had.
Mm-hmm.
it could be true. She could have said it like the first thing, like, hey, just keep the boys safe, just work with them and do whatever you do or something. Which I think is kind of stupid because, like, I don't know, I just feel that's silly. Because what use are the boys to her now if she ends up getting voted out or tribes merged and she's not with them again? Because then the boys could go against her because their loved ones, like Chrissy could be like, Sophie's a cow, let's vote her out, Croc. And Croc's just like, yeah, okay.
Makes sense that even happened. I also have more. Okay, so this is the worst part. So after a huge blindside on Sunday night, Sophie has commented on how shocking the game can be once players realise how easily trust and loyalty are forgotten. Taking to her stories, Sophie shared that she was opting to work instead of watch Monday night's episode, saying it was giving her too much anxiety. The lies created to save their own asses turned really personal, and I wasn't having a part of it. It hurt me and a lot of others, she wrote. Referring to Sunday night's blindside, which saw her booted from the website and sent to drink water instead. I am a competitor, but I also don't agree with how emotionally or sneakily the competition is. It's scary to me how easily people were able to lie and manipulate you, which is the whole point of the paper.
People go into this game thinking, we're all going to be friends and cuddle and love each other.
Exactly. That's not the point.
The point of the game. And the whole point of the game is alliances are going to be broken. Trust is going to be broken. Loyalty is not going to be there. It's going to happen at some point. Like, people will gang up, but that's just an alliance. Like, an alliance, it's kind of like a truce. Like, you're doing it for the sake of both your values.
Yeah. So I wrote down in my notes, I said that Sophie doesn't understand the point of a blindside because I'm attacking her because a blindside is like,
she doesn't have the capacity.
Like, a blindside is when everyone from the tribe votes you out, or at least a majority, obviously. And the way she was saying that, like, the way she was saying it was like she didn't understand how her friends, quote unquote, could turn on her. But that's the whole point of a blindside, because it wouldn't be a blindside if enemies came after you. That's predictable. You expect people that aren't on your side.
It's like if Sandra went out today, that's predicted. That's not a blindside.
It's not a blindside. It's a blindside if Amy turns on Dave.
Yes, Sophie doesn't understand the game, and I feel like a blindside is also a double cross. Like, you have to be, everyone has to have one idea, but you're actually doing the second idea, which the first idea no one knows. Like, the first idea of who came up with it doesn't know about, like with David. Like, he didn't know. I didn't even know what they were going to do. They were going to get out David, but then they were kind of like, no, we won't get out David because Sam was like, he doesn't deserve it. And then he was like, Sam, you're such a meanie. And then they got David out. So I tried. Oh gosh, I cannot stop yawning. I'm usually in bed at this time. I won't fall asleep though because I haven't had my medication because I'm just strong like that. But you're like, okay, whatever. We're talking about Sophie.
Yeah, we were talking about the rewards, the challenges.
Yeah, and how Sophie was pissed about being voted out and her friends were like, they're so unloyal.
Right. Did we... So Monday night's rewards was what? Did we say? The challenge?
It was the Monday night. This is the, yeah.
And what was the immunity challenge that night? You said something about logs, but I can't remember that.
Wait, so it was the podium and the logs. The logs.
I don't remember that.
Where like Alex and Sophie were the last ones, and they're like, Alex. The thing is, that challenge is stupid because
I hate it.
They're like, oh wait, are we talking about the podium one?
No, the log climb.
Yeah. Okay. I thought the challenge was stupid because anyone on the outside isn't holding the full weight because the weight swings back to the middle. So that's why Ben lasted so long because he didn't hold all that weight, where Alex and Sophie, they were in the middle. So they were holding a lot more weight.
Like once we saw like so many times. Once one person dropped and didn't say that they were going to drop, it like jolted everyone else because they weren't expecting to be adding extra weight to their hold, and then they all dropped.
Yeah, and I think because it was so hot and sweaty, their grip would have failed because their hands hadn't been dry, and
couldn't hold it for like 10 minutes.
And they had to hold it with one hand. They couldn't swap anymore.
Yeah.
If they had the little handle thing on the other side of their hand, I think they could have lasted longer because their grip, like the sweatiness, wouldn't have failed them. But that's the whole point of the game, is to have someone lose. But I feel like everyone was exaggerating how cool Ben was. They're like, oh my God, he lasted so long. That's because he was on the end. Like, calm down. He's the Hulk.
Yeah. It didn't. Yeah. It shocked me that Alex was taking the last out of everyone, like besides Ben.
I feel like Sophie was trying to prove herself.
100%. I think Alex might have been doing the same as well.
Yeah, I feel like he was just trying to put up with the pain so he could be like, I should still be on the team.
Maybe he like locked into a position and his back wouldn't move, so he was just stuck there.
And like the reason Blue was winning at the start is because they were all leaning. They were all leaning back, so their weight was holding the other weight. Where the red team had their arms stuck out, and I'm like, of course you're gonna lose the grip. You've got the worst form.
I don't think no one like fell off of the
especially Amy. Like Croc, I think Croc let go before her.
Yeah. But like Croc's hands are massive, so he wouldn't have had very good grip on Tuesday night.
So last night.
Blue.
Oh yeah, when Dave fell, the mud thing. I mean the little swimming thing they did.
No,
the little wrestle thing where they were like, get the ball.
Yeah.
That was really embarrassing.
Yeah, it was.
For Dave.
I would never put up. Yeah, poor Dave. He like really had a rough time. He got drowned and then he like got the ball and had to like yank him off the wall. He didn't even get on his feet. He just like slid up.
I think a lot of people overestimate David because like even though he's like a 40-year-old man and stuff, oh my gosh, what's it called? Mark's gonna be an old father. They've got like a 4-year-old kid and he's like 42. That's really old.
How old's Sam?
Okay, I'll go look her up. Because like my parents are like 40 now, but I'm like 18. So it's so much more different.
Yeah, it's a good like 3.
She is 33.
Okay, so
they're 10 years different, which is fine. Adults consenting. But she is a lot younger than he is.
Yeah.
Like he actually yeah, which is kind of a good thing for him. Like he looks quite young. Like he doesn't look 40.
He looks like 35.
Yeah, but his bones are 40. So he's gonna like the kid's like about 4, right? So when the kid gets to about 10, he's gonna be like 50.
Yeah.
I don't want a granddad as a father. Like
and like once the kid gets to like let's say 25, he's gonna be like
60 something.
60 like 3.
That's crazy.
And the kid has a kid then, like, and he has a now Mark is a grandfather. Then like this seems pretty right.
Yeah, but like I feel like that's just really old because my mum had me when she was 28. So
My mum was
I was like 2 before she was even 30.
Yeah.
So like I'm gonna turn 20 and she's not even gonna be at 50 yet.
Yeah.
Which is quite a big thing, I feel. Like that's quite
I'm confused because if Mark's son has a kid at like let's say 25 or 28, we'll go 28 so it relates to like 28, and Mark's 42 now, and let's say the kid's like 3. So 20. Oh, why is this so hard to do math? So
add 20, so he'd be so add
59 when the kid is 20, and then plus 8, so 67 when the kid is 28, and then the kid has a kid, and then let's say that kid is then wants to be.
No, Mark is going to be old. That's old to have your first grandkid.
Yeah, but my pop who died, he was 81 when he died, and I was only 12, which seems pretty on par with how Mark's going to be. But he was 11 years older than my nan. Oh my God, 7 months on my grandparents.
Wait, Mark is 11 years older than your nan? Is that what you just said?
I said my grandfather was 11 years older than my nan.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So
okay, yeah, I guess that passes. It's just such a weird thing to think about, because if you think about it in reality, when she was 3, he was 12.
Yeah.
Which obviously they're not going to think about that kind of thing, but like that still freaks me out. Because like when you're thinking about relating back to each other's lives, he's almost in high school at that point.
The thing is, right? So what are we saying? They're like 9 years apart? Is that what we're saying? Yeah, 9.
Yeah.
So I'm 17. Like, is my soulmate 26? Right now.
Imagine though. And like, but if it was the other way around, how young, if you were the older one, how much, 9 years, so like 11 or 12?
8. I'm 17. Take away 9. 8.
17 minus 9 is 8. Oh, my math is shit.
8 years. They're like in year 3. My mum teaches the year 3 class. She could be apparently teaching there.
She could be teaching if she's a husband.
Anyway, but we don't go off the minors.
This is all the stuff that's cut out.
So yeah, I literally don't have anything else to find.
Yeah, because that was the last challenge, but the other challenge was the swimming ball one. The thing that kind of pissed me off about that one was that they were all jumping in with the ball. So obviously the ball is going to fly up, because have you never put a boogie board under you in the water, or like a ball under you in the pool, and it's just uppercut you in the jaw and you're absolutely smashed out and drowning.
Exactly.
So I don't know why they didn't throw it as far as they could, swim up to get to it, and then just keep doing that. Yeah.
Exactly.
Because at first I thought they were all holding the ball, and I'm like, you are all freaking stupid. But then a few of them started like throwing it ahead. But I was like, why don't you throw it really far ahead, so then you don't have to, you can just go a quick little swim and then get it. Because if you just push it a few, yeah.
How Khan swam out to the climbing thing like he was in storm, and then he came back, and I was like, he just exerted all of his energy on the way out there, and he's coming back, and I thought they were gonna have to run in and get it out. He was dead.
He was worse than Croc, actually. Like he went out, like that's the thing. People, it's like when little kids do a running race, they expend all their energy at the start, and then literally halfway through they're dead, because they think that being fast at the start is going to carry them the whole way through. I feel like just having an average pace at the start would have been fine. Exerting a lot of energy on the climbing wall, because that's pretty tough, and then taking a break at the top, throwing the ball, catching your breath, do a fun little dive, and then paddle for your life. Why paddle for your life out there if you're gonna not paddle very well at the end? Because you're just losing time.
Plus, I feel like paddling, like exerting your whole energy on the way out is stupid, because you've still got to do the whole, which is like really hard. So you better have to like preserve your energy and just like pace yourself out there, do the wall, and then like really exert your energy back.
Yeah, because the energy is gonna the wall's gonna take your most energy. Like it's gonna f you up.
I'd be so scared that
I felt so bad for Croc. Like here's the thing, I'd be scared that I'd like have a bit of momentum and then slam my head in the rocks or something. Or like I'd climb to the top and like slip off and then fall back in the water and have to do it again. I'd just swim back. I'd be like, no, I am not climbing that again.
Yeah, we're good.
But like the balls were like leathery.
Yeah, they're like volleyballs.
Yeah, they were like volleyballs from the 1800s. Like they weren't the kind of foamy ones we have today.
They look heavy.
Yeah, it would have been so funny if they were filled with rocks. Because then when they threw them in the water, it just sank, and then John's just like, haha. And when they threw them in the air, it just hit them on the head. That'd be so fun. And the thing that concerns me is when they threw the ball in, how did they know which hole to go in? When they threw the ball in, how did they know which one to go in? Because there was just one top hole. There was just one top hole, and then it split into the two. And I was like, why does it know which one to go in?
Think about that.
Like there wasn't a tiny person under there switching the little lever. Like
unless it's like a button and they like
maybe. Like technology shouldn't be that advanced though. It's all blocks of wood. Like Survivor is very much a kid's playground. Like it's all big blocks of wood and swimming and random.
I'd love to do that. I'd love to do the challenges without the challenge.
I'd like to do the challenges, but not timed and not in a rush. But not lifting anything. Like let's just have fun building this little thing and have a swim. Not go. Your life depends on it.
Exactly. I'm not doing that. Let me see if I have anything else. I don't think I do.
I think we should talk about our predictions for next week. To start, not only like with the tribal swap, but then like the kind of outcomes that could have on it. Like imagine if like Khan gets stuck in without Amy. Like he doesn't get Amy back. And he still has people on the blue team. Sadie's on the blue team still. And Mark gets Sam on the blue team. And like a few other family members kind of come. They're going to want to flush Khan even more. Because he is an idol. And he's pretty strong. Despite his stupidity when it comes to swimming. Like
I think, the best outcome for him and Amy is to be on a team together without Mark or Sandra.
Definitely.
And it's the same team for them to be okay.
But I don't know if Mark would ever want to team up with Sandra.
No. But he likes Nina.
I feel like they'd work well together. Like they'd be able to do blind sides together and stuff. But then I feel like eventually they would like do what Mark had intended to do with Khan, like have a fake alliance. I feel like it was stupid that Mark kind of voiced that he had the fake alliance. I feel like he could have just kept it to himself because that was such a strong power he had over Khan.
And plus that would make like everyone else feel like their relationship or their like alliance with Mark isn't true. Like, am I just a fake alliance?
Yeah, like is he just double crossing me so he's actually telling Khan the truth and he's just pretending to tell us that he has an alliance with Khan when in reality he's actually double crossing me.
I did that once in year 6. No, year 5. I had 2 different friend groups and I was telling them because they hated each other. I was telling them that I was getting information.
Yeah.
Caught out. It was not okay. And then I had to pick.
That's not
fun. The best one though.
Always. I'm really scared who else is going to get teamed up. Because like, I feel like Nina is going to go back to her mum and be like, I don't like the way you play. Because I feel like they both play 2 very different games. Sandra is more like a sneaky snake where she hides and then comes for the attack. When Nina, I don't know what Nina would be animal-wise, but that's how I picture Sandra, and I feel like Nina is very much different.
Like Nina owns her moves so that she can add it to her resume. Like at the end, say Sandra made it to the end, and then Sandra's going to be like, I actually orchestrated all of these moves. it'd be so easy to like just say that she didn't, like as the opposing person, because she never owns them, because she likes to just sit in the background. And like she could be sitting in front of a jury and be like, "Oh, I did that," and then the jury could be like, "You definitely didn't. Like you're definitely lying." Then Nina like takes ownership of it.
Yeah.
So she can say this to it.
Mm. And like, I don't know what it would be like, say, if Mark and Sam was on the red team with Nina and whatever. I feel like that would be okay because Sandra and Sam have a bit of a coupling and Nina and Mark have a bit of it. But then I feel like it would all go against each other once they got with their partner. Because I feel like Mark would kind of be like Sandra, and then Sandra would kind of be like Mark, and then their alliances would kind of flop.
And I also feel like if you're having like Sandra and Nina and then Mark and Sam in the same tribe, they're going to be like fighting for like the power couple position, and they would turn against each other.
And I feel like Sandra would be really fed up with Mark, like helping everyone. Because remember when David tried to lift Sandra up and she's like, "Please don't."
Yeah.
I can lift myself up. I'm an independent woman.
You said exactly right.
My cousin, for some weird reason, has an American accent. She's born in Australia. She's Aboriginal. She's never been outside the country or on a plane, but she has an American accent.
That's really weird.
Everyone thought it was because she watched... No, she doesn't. It's just a thing she's had since she was a kid. Everyone thought it was because she watched Dora, and a Dora accent mixed with Australian accent fuddles the brain. But I watched Dora, and I am not American sounding. So I kind of can pick up on it a little bit because my cousin sounds like Sandra.
Well, it's a talent. I can't do any impressions.
I have to say certain phrases to do impressions sometimes. Like if I was to be Irish, I'd have to say I'm a little leprechaun, or there's God at the end of the rainbow.
I can do a Grinch impression, but I will not be ever showing the public that.
Wait, you can do a Grinch impression? Wait, did you say you were like in love with the Grinch or something? Or you like really like the Grinch?
I really like the Grinch. I am in love with the Grinch.
So you would consider the Grinch on par with Daddy Mark?
100%. If not more.
Is it because it's Jim Carrey or because he's a green little furry thing?
Oh, it's Jim Carrey.
Oh, okay.
Jim Carrey's on.
Yeah, Jim Carrey is pretty cool.
Yeah, because one time they were like, Jim Carrey's really awesome comedian, and we're going to make you watch every single one of his movies. And so I did. And it just brought something.
I think he's cool, but I wouldn't be attracted to him.
Okay, well, you're wrong.
I'm not wrong, because that's my opinion. No, I wouldn't be attracted to him. Okay, fine. Apparently I'm attracted to him. But there was this video I saw on TikTok once that was like this girl forced her boyfriend to act like the Grinch in bed. Otherwise she wouldn't do anything. And she'd have to make him say like, "I'll only steal Christmas if it's with you," or something stupid, or like this dumb like Christmas Grinch phrases when they're in bed. And I just thought immediately of you just now. I think that's pretty much it for Survivor right now, because there's not much else we can predict.
It's me editing again. I just thought that I would jump on at the very end of the episode and basically say that we did not film any sort of outro. We kind of just stopped talking about Survivor and then just started talking in person, like to each other for like a good another hour. So there was never an outro. So I'm making one now. And I also just wanted to give you guys like the rundown on what to expect in the future on the podcast. So essentially it'll be talking about Survivor until Survivor season ends, which I don't even know when that is, but it's got a little while left now. And then after that we hope to jump into like more everyday life topics and just talking about general things or doing like funny episodes or something like that. But for now it's very Survivor focused, and it'll probably be around an hour episode each week to just dissect the week of Survivor. So yeah, that's essentially all I wanted to say. But basically, if you want to keep watching, subscribe, and I will see you guys next week.